Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Sigil Confidential, the City of Doors.
Good evening, everyone.
Indeed. Hopefully everything is running up to par as it should be. The new icons look nice. Look, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
A very big thank you to Prim.
We're shiny as can be.
Very much.
Yeah, we're getting there. Anyways.
Now, all our viewers have no excuse to not know who's saying what when. Because they actually light up when they talk, which is pretty amazing.
Shiny.
Very. Now we just need a glitter effect that pops out every time Draken talks.
Oh, mood.
All right, well, we are here. Bryn, would you like to bring us in?
Of course. Last time on Sigil Confidential, Draken, Rat, and Crod returned to headquarters as Jimmy and the Ghost were debating the meaning of Glasia's words. Ghost ended the conversation with an uncomfortable truth. Asmodeus, Scratch, and Glasia all have skin in the game the crew have found themselves in the middle of, and the only person they could potentially get a straight answer from was the Angler. The crew knew this, but dreaded the prospect of dealing with him. Jimmy tried summoning him to no avail. Draken shared what they learned at the tavern at the docks, and all made plans to meet with Gregory's family and make moves in the direction of stealing the Whispering Gale the next day after arrest. Istu, Crod, and the Ghost left for the evening, but when Crod left for a tavern to stay at, he ended up with a killer headache. When everyone reconvened at headquarters the next day, Crod still wasn't feeling well, and after a time, there was a lump in his throat. Something was trying to make its way out. Jimmy saw something black and wiggly inside, and Istu, after making an examination themselves, cut off the creature's way back down by wrapping one hand around Crod's throat and piercing the creature with their long nails on their free hand. They managed to remove the creature with a deft hand, a writhing black mass covered in cilia and beady eyes. It began rapidly increasing in size. Jimmy's hand and Draken's eyes started burning. Jimmy tried drawing Blackjammer to kill it, but Blackjammer refused to leave his sheath. They soon gazed upon a huge form that had to bend down to fit inside headquarters, its body a mass of tentacles and the head of an anglerfish. Yes, dear viewers, our crew was face to face with the actual true form of the Angler. He teased and taunted, poked and prodded the crew, and wouldn't tell them a damn thing about what was going on with him and Scratch, or anything else for that matter, without the rest of the crew also making deals with him. They, of course, wouldn't. The Angler did offer the crew a way out of this mess with the devils by going somewhere where they couldn't follow. Survival was the incentive, because they wouldn't make it another week in Sigil. With that, he proposed a wager. The crew had 1 week to steal the Whispering Gale and head out to Scuttler's Rock. Then, all they had to do was take the Angler home. If they failed, they would belong to him. To sweeten the pot, he offered to return Zil, Watts, and Pohan to them at Scuttler's Rock, unscathed. They all accepted, and small binding marks appeared on everyone's left hands. The game is on, and the clock is ticking. Will the crew be able to fulfill the Angler's wager? What will come of this situation with Scratch and Glasia? Stick around and find out as our crew begins making preparations right now on Sigil Confidential. Hell to pay.
Bravo.
Very nice. Very nice. I feel like we have to labor to live up to the expectations set by the intro. It's like we get all that to build us up, and then we're about to do bookkeeping for at least 10 minutes.
Well, this is episode 14 of Hell to Pay. call this one loose ends.
Mm?
Seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very good intro. And we are still at headquarters. For sake of ease, Crod, we will say, is going to take one of the upstairs rooms and recover from a sore throat.
I think he needs it. Yeah.
That's the exact same room that Chris's last character had the exact same problem in.
Oh my god.
Full circle. We've come full circle.
He just has this habit.
He does. Poor guy.
All right.
So, where do we go from here?
Various places. Various places. Jimmy pushes back in the chair and stands up and says, well, best get this part over with. And he starts walking towards the back.
Oh.
He reaches the door. He knocks.
There is no answer.
Okay, he says, I take it you heard that?
The old girl remains silent.
He keeps on. He knows she's listening. Now, I just want to point out here, I'm taking on a mighty big risk to get your boy back. So if it takes a couple extra days, because I got to sail out to Scuttler's Rock and then to Cairn and back, well, you're just going to have to hold on for me, because I'll be trying not to die.
While you receive no verbal response, the rafters kind of groan as if the house is settling, and you kind of shakes a little bit. A little dust kicks up. Thank you for the sub, Cranky. 19 months. Wow.
Damn.
Very good. But yeah, I guess you could take that as your response however you choose to.
Jimmy does. He says, you'll keep. You'll keep. You're a tough one. He walks back.
All right.
Walks in the kitchen.
Bob peeks out of the stove.
Hey, Bob.
What's up?
I'll just setting the place in order, or doing a quick walk around, I guess. Might be out of town for a minute. You think you can hold the kitchen down?
I mean, don't I always?
Just wanted to let you know. Give you a heads up.
Yeah. I mean, the bucket full. He's kind of peering around at the coal bucket.
Jimmy will look over. I imagine with Rat doing his stuff lately that the coal bucket has been replaced with something a lot more high potency.
Rat, did you replace the coal bucket with something more efficient?
I hadn't needed to do. I don't. No, Bob never asked me for any improvements to his living situation.
It's true. It's true.
Would you have had a good supply of burnable materials, though, given that you're doing your tinkering and forging in here?
I'm mostly using like heat metal and fabricate for heating and shaping.
Ah. Wizard stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's just, God.
It's always the wizard stuff.
Bucket's about 3/4 full. He says, I'll pick you up a second one.
I mean, there's plenty here for me to consume if I run out, I suppose, but I don't know if the house is going to like it.
Bob, I like you. I wouldn't bet on you in that fight. Not sure I'd bet on me in that fight.
Yeah, he chuckles and kind of goes back inside the stove.
I grab an apple from the space that had not yet been claimed by Rat on the way back out.
You're going to have to fight Istu. Istu's going over the fruit.
Oh no, Istu, are we fighting over apples? You're doing the
No.
pear thinking, it looks like.
I was waiting for the hand slap. Alright, so Istu does not smack your hand in that case.
I grab the apple, I start to walk back out. For the first time in some time, I actually match my little character token.
Holding the apple.
Yes. As I start to walk away, I actually look back at Istu. I say, Istu, you got family in the city? Anybody you got to check in with before we take a little trip?
No.
No, you don't have to call back to base.
Not really. No.
Okay, good. One fewer on the list.
The idea of calling anyone or going physically to visit someone strikes like you get the distinct awareness that it's particularly amusing that you think that Istu needs to go somewhere to talk to the person that they report to. Like
I'm just the least magic guy.
pretty sure the boss can see me where I'm at.
Istu's got the weird world web.
Yeah. Although, is that gonna work once we're out in, well, the phlogiston?
Hell, fuck no.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
no, of course not. But they already are aware of the impending journey, so
It's good.
All is well.
It'll be interesting. So, as you return to the office, keeping with tradition at this point, there is a hurried, needful, almost frantic dump, 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 dump at the door.
I don't even break stride. I just keep on going around. Still got the apple.
Keeping with tradition.
Bryn's slipping into the back room.
All right.
I am as calm as I have ever been. I don't look through the window. I open the door.
There is a young tiefling street urchin. Wide-eyed, sweaty, looks very nervous.
Might it be one who was not killed by Scratch?
Appears that way.
Okay. I say, oh, good. You know, they say the devils keep their word, but I was never actually sure about it.
He looks around nervously. You
You want to come inside, kid?
No. Hell no.
That's probably safer, yeah. What you want? What you want?
You interested in that big boat thing?
I'm going to take a bite out of the apple. Not bad, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I was told to come here and tell you there's a whole mess of people swarming it right now. I don't
Told who
recognize
by?
him. Uh, I can't.
Big
really,
fellow?
No, can't really say.
How tall is the kid? Are we talking like this is an 8-year-old tiefling?
He's probably about 10 or 11.
All right. I will hunker down to look more directly into his eyes from here.
Bryn is clenching her teeth and like clenching her fists and gritting her teeth from behind the wall.
Damn it.
Pretty much.
The first thing I will do is, investigation check. Is this some sort of illusion or disguise? Standard operating procedure for somebody in my line of work these days.
Sure, go ahead. Your choice. Looking to see through or looking to suss out?
At first, just see through. He's getting pretty good at illusions. He's looking for the telltale signs. Shadows don't match right. Things have the wrong depth.
Right.
Surfaces just don't really speculate in the correct fashion.
All right. Yeah, go for it.
Look
Wow.
at me. I roll a 1 and I get 22.
Yes, ladies and
because
gentlemen, that
Rogue
was a-
is the best class in the game.
That was a nat 1 22. A dirty 22 off a 1.
Rogue is the best class in the game, thank you.
Yeah, the game is broken. Oh, players cheat. No, it's not a disguise though.
Okay.
Most assuredly, this is definitely a young tiefling.
All right, that's good. Now, I just want to get some more details out of him and try and calm him down, because he's obviously very, very tense, because 1, I could be killed at any second. 2, he could be killed for standing next to me. So I just ease him into it, and I say, you see it yourself, or you just come with news?
Look,
It's all right. It's all right. I'm bad enough that they're not gonna just explode me on my doorstep. They have tried that before.
yeah. Here's the thing. I'm here as a favor to a friend, a mutual friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told them I wouldn't use their name.
Most of my mutual friends are like that.
But the information is, it's sound.
I'll insight check him, as a tradition.
He's nervous, but he's definitely not lying, as far as you can tell.
Okay. He says, well, I stand back up to my normal height. Not incredibly tall, just my normal one. I appreciate it. Now, you might want to stand someplace safer.
Yeah, I sure am hungry. Be nice to go down to Zaw's place, maybe.
I fish around. How much is a za these days? I would know. I don't have to ask him.
A gold piece would definitely cover it.
I fish it out, I hand it over. I say, buy 2, give the other one away.
He clenches it between his teeth, looks up and nods at you with a devious little grin.
It's important to make friends. You really do give that second one away now.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy. He kind of giggles a little bit and starts moving off. He kind of... Sorry, go ahead.
No. When he starts moving off, I want to ask him a question.
He'll pause.
Quick question. The mutual friend, the one that doesn't want to be known, wouldn't happen to have been a monkey-like boy, would it?
He looks at you over his shoulder, and his grin just goes from devious to shit-eating, and he winks and runs off.
Heh.
He liked the children, and not in a bad way.
He was the children.
Yeah. It's
Jimmy
true.
nods. He says, well, 2 arms. Walks off towards the back. It's Stu. He's knocking on the kitchen door. It's Stu.
Casually.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded urgent, so I walked.
Sounded urgent, so I had another bite of this pear.
Slowly and casually.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're eating. You might need that. We gotta head down to the docks and maybe bust some heads. Yeah, it's definitely roll with the punches times. Croc can sleep it off. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Crowd had a bad day.
He had a very bad day. And we out.
So we're not taking the ship immediately, right, Jimmy?
Well, depends on how assertive this mob is and who sent him.
Listen, I need to pay advanced taxes on my place. Advanced taxes and rent.
How long's the average appointment with the Fated last? 3-4 days?
Could be.
We'll be back in a week. You can handle it then.
Well, you say we'll be back in a week. We probably won't be back in a week.
We ain't gonna be back in a week.
You got me have hope here.
We'll be on board a ship with the Angler in a week.
Hopefully.
And then we'll be back right after that. It's fine.
You remember the second part of that thing he asked for?
We take him. We Uber him somewhere, and then we drop him off. And then we come back.
He asked us to take him home, Rat.
Yeah. So we Uber him to this whatever location, and we drop him off, and then he goes away, and then it's not our problem anymore.
If home is where I think it is, that's at least a couple months' journey
Rat.
to get there.
First
For fuck's
things,
sake.
I'm Prime. Second things, you can't go to my home. They sealed that place off.
So yes, I need to pay at least 4 months of taxes and rent in advance.
We'll walk slow. See if you can meet us down by the docks. Tell the Fated I said hey. Fortunately, I rent this place and Anguish can run the Wickle Tongue. Shit, I still gotta get somebody for the Wickle Tongue. Yeah, we'll walk slow. See if you can make it.
All right,
Shoot.
Jimmy. So yeah, I guess Bryn will be popping by her home and then popping by the Fated with some gold.
I told you, we got that great intro and we're gonna do 10 minutes of bookkeeping.
Well, we can speed a lot of that up. So, the bookkeeping part, going by your home, unless you want to roleplay it, we'll just say you did it.
Yeah. However long that takes.
Yeah.
And then she'll meet Jimmy back up at the dock.
His tooth goes back inside.
My landlord was abducted, and I'm about to save his life. I don't need to pay advance rent.
True, rent's on hold for HQ at the moment. But we can say that we've got all the bookkeeping settled and rejoin and carry on, unless somebody was going to go do something while the bookkeeping was going on.
If nobody stops, I figure I'd head down and start heading to the dock and keep an eye on things.
Oh yeah, I think everybody but the ghost is heading to the docks.
All right.
Pretty much.
Well then,
And she will, of course, be invisible because, yeah.
let's go to the docks. Bryn, you're down there invisible already. I'm going to... Oh my god, everyone's
We're
so huge.
Yeah.
They'll never stop me. I knock through the building. Oh, I'm normal sized again.
Oh, we could have taken Scratch now.
I was gonna pick up the ship and walk away with it. Heist of the century.
Drake and
I
Zilla.
don't need to have magic if I can just step on them.
Here, I'll get rid of the Bryn one. Scallywag is huge.
I was gonna say Scallywag is now the mount.
Alright,
I can't see shit. I don't know what you guys are looking at.
Oh, can you not?
I could see the whole map. It doesn't even seem to have dynamic light on.
I got some fog, but yeah.
Yeah,
I see it on the stream, but I can't see anything. I don't know where I'm at.
Here, hang on.
I'm still at the tavern.
There, that's better. Okay. I can see
Got it?
Oh, he might have his viewpoint split.
There we go. Rat is at the tower. Oh, you guys are over there. Let's do this. I'll get rid of these.
Where?
Can't see shit.
Okay.
Now I can't see anything.
That was
I
the
can see.
problem. Okay, hang on one sec. Do, do, do. You see now?
Yep.
Okay.
I can still see.
I see everything.
Okay, there we go. I had to turn on your vision.
Nice.
So, here, we'll get you all nice and together so everyone's kind of together. So, here we are at the docks. Bonus point if you can remember the name of the docks.
Sidewalk ends.
Look at that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite names so far.
Yeah, do we walk in here? Where are we basically? Where does the dock begin?
I guess we could do that. Here, let's bring you guys up here, basically. So yeah, you're coming in to the docks. Sorry if I kind of don't mean to stack you guys. My God, I'm so rude. Yeah, so it's a little busier than you remember. First off, there is a lot of noise and bustle from where you know the Whispering Gale is moored. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people of all races just mulling about right now, bumping into each other, a lot of cargo being carried. From time to time, you see uniformed guards wearing blue and black long coats and kind of like a feathered hats, like a uniform style, and they're all carrying muskets and rapiers.
Do we recognize the uniform as being related to one of the known quantities of sigils, this faction uniform?
This is interesting.
Do I have to make a roll for it?
Jimmy, And Draken. Let's give me a God. Give me a perception rolls.
Yeah, sure.
If it's just Jimmy and Draken, if this is related to what I think it's related to, then Bryn's seen some shit
Yeah.
in seances.
Well, the reason I'm saying this, and Draken, you're not picking up on it. You're distracted as usual. Jimmy,
No real surprise.
they are speaking Shanakesian.
I nearly trip over nothing. I stumble in the alleyway.
You feel an invisible hand catch you.
I look around. Am I somehow back in goddamn goat skin? No.
Oh God.
What are they doing? I am following their movements very avidly now.
There's a lot of them, and they are basically overseeing operations. It looks like cargo is being loaded onto the Whispering Gale.
Out of character question, are these actually Shanakesians?
I don't know.
We about to find out. We about to find out. Does anybody look like they're appropriately middle management? I'm not looking for who's in charge of the whole thing. I'm just looking for somebody too important to be doing much work.
Within the Shanakesian regiments?
Yes.
Not
We're talking
really.
mid-level NCO here.
Who's
No.
got the clipboard?
From what you're seeing right now, it's mainly groups of 3. Every one of them is in a group of 3. They are patrolling and keeping very watchful eyes on the comings and goings of the dock workers.
So, you know, I was native. Shanakesian was not on Jimmy's languages list.
No.
But I did a lot of business with a lot of people. I might be able to manage a greeting.
That would be a fair assessment, given the way that language actually works.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, can't I make it something I'm good at? I could. Have an intelligence check.
Let's see. Yeah.
I'm really running the brain overtime for this one.
Due to the nature of everything that's just happened to you and everything that's been happening to you, this has been on your mind. You've been nostalgic. You've been remembering, and yeah, the traditional greeting comes back to you that Shanakesians use.
Right. I pick a group of 3 that's not in the absolute thick of it, and I just walk up and lead with the greeting.
Okay. So the 3 of them stop in their tracks and look at you with shock and surprise. One of them even kind of unshoulders his rifle. Not threateningly, but more of a defensive, like, what the hell type movement. And they speak back to you in Shanakesian.
I give him my biggest not disturbing grin, and I just try to smooth it over, and I say, my Shanakesian's real rusty. That's about as far as it'll go, I'm afraid. But I gotta ask, what the hell, guys?
How do you know our language?
I grew up around it.
What do you mean you grew up around it?
If you're what I think you are, and you sure as hell seem to be, well, By Sigil standards, we were neighbors.
Explain.
I'm from home.
You're from... He kind of blanches a little.
Yeah. I was thinking not too many people made it out, and certainly not, battalion. But the 33 is my attempt to kind of use this moment of shock to schmooze my way into a more revealing conversation than they may have really been intending.
So, and that's fair. So the three of them look at the rest of you. What about them?
Golden Boy over there, he came here with me as well. These others, they're just, friends, employees. I run a small business.
The captain's gonna want to see you.
I'm probably going to want to see the captain.
If I can, real quickly, I'd like to burn a charge for my staff for comprehend languages.
Okay.
Ooh, smart.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's no problem. You begin to pick up the chatter. Most of it's mundane, logistics, as they are loading the Whispering Gale. I'm going to say that over the course, if you guys are going to follow them, they're going to start leading you towards the Gale. Is anyone opposed to that?
No.
No, not really. I'd rather know what's going on before trying to steal the ship.
Okay. So they'll start leading you over to the Gale. Every now and then, Draken, you'll hear one of them kind of wave to one of the other trios and mention in their native tongue, hey, these two guys are from home. Which, of course, gets the reaction you would assume. They make your way all the way to the Gale and up to the gangplank, leading on to it.
All right. I move.
We can all move there. Zoom in a little here. All right. And yeah, they bring you aboard. The deck of the ship is bustling. It's just covered with cargo, and things have been strapped down with nets, and there's uniformed troops bustling back and forth, tying down the rigging, getting things ready to cast off by the look of it. The soldiers take you aboard unless you resist. At any point, please say you do if you do.
No. We're on the inside now.
Okay. As to where are you? I don't see you there. You're still back in the back.
I was drowning in my character sheet, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I was just making sure that you're with them.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so they bring you aboard and start taking you back. Oh, goodness. To what is the captain's quarters. I believe that's the poop deck. So they take you back into the captain's quarters. Oh my gosh, the map's going crazy. Open the door and usher you in. Does everybody go in?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
of course. Assuming it is a captain's
Yes.
quarters inside and we have not been fooled into walking ourselves to the brig.
It is a gaping
Yes.
maw of doom. No, it is. Inside is very warm. Soft lamplight. The furnishings are actually new by the look of it. Most of which has been handcrafted. There's a large wooden desk in the center of the room. There's shelves with various things on display, little treasures and trinkets. Seating before the desk, and of course a bunk on one side, and a number of chests and crates and storage. Sitting at the desk, leaned over, writing furiously with a quill some type of document, is a stunningly beautiful woman in full uniform. She looks up with these piercing blue eyes and kind of locks onto each one of you one at a time. And then the soldier, speaking in his native tongue, which of course Drake and you understand, says, "Captain, these two are from home. We just stumbled upon them. I brought them to see you. I hope that's okay." She stands up, looks at you shocked, and steps around with this strange grace, steps around the desk and starts eyeing Jimmy and Draken up and down. And looks back at the soldier and says, "Are you sure?" The soldier says, "That's all I was told." And she looks at the two of you and says, "Explain yourself," in common.
I look over at Draken and I say, "Do you think we have time for the full story? We probably don't have time for the full story."
I don't know. It is pretty awesome. And well, I mean, it is quite a story.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
look
sure
back.
If they've just gotten here, I'm sure they've heard our story. We're kind of local celebrities.
Yeah, that's fair. I turn back. I say, "Well, I'm Jimmy Callens. It's Drake and Flame Tongue. Don't know how long you've been in town. You might have heard of us."
Never heard of you.
You might
That's
have heard
fair.
of Stapleton, though.
Stapleton.
Previously went by Stapleton Investigative Services, or the Stapleton Agency.
Doesn't ring a bell.
That's fair. We operated out of Goatskin, so not everybody was really local. But, yeah. Unless you got a lot of time, we'll skip the full version. Yeah, we're from home. Cairn natives. We got out right as the whole mess was coming down.
Once again, she looks you up and down. Kind of looks like she's gauging you for something. Scowls her face up a little bit. And leans in and says, like with one finger kind of pointed at you, and says, "You're not one of those Bechtlerite dogs, are you?"
I had my odds with the Becht government at times. You know, I was not born, but 5-10 years, I think, after they, claimed the area. So, nah, I'm not really Becht. Like I said, I'm a goatskin boy. Or was. I'm a lot of things now.
Well, strange timing. I'm sure you can understand my suspicions.
Yeah, no, it's a little unusual, to say the least. Our understanding was it was our little crew and, at best, a handful of other people who escaped the Blight.
The what?
Jimmy tilts his head. He looks back at Draken. Do you think?
How long have you been away?
What year was it when you left Cairn?
That's kind of the problem, is she looks a little hesitant. She's once again kind of looking you down, you and Draken, and the rest of you as well. Pretty good roll.
Am I gonna insight check that? Are we being lied to? I will insight check the hell out of that.
No, that was her insight checking you.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
So far, you've been completely honest.
Yep, I haven't lied once.
So, she sighs a little and says, "Look, we've been lost for a long time. Me, the crew, we're all disoriented. Something about this ship and something that we passed through. We're out of phase. Does that make sense?"
Bryn's ears perks up.
Afraid I'm not the most magical sort, and my friend here, well, he is, but he handles it mostly with style. Do you remember what year it was when you left?
I remember a lot of tension. I don't remember times. I don't remember dates. I know we were ordered to seek out something. What was it? What was it? She rubs her head.
Jimmy leans over to Draken. Draken? How long before we left was it that the Becht conquered? What year was that?
Who was the queen?
Yeah. Who were the royals when you left? You remember? King, Queen?
Oh, King Phelan and Queen Bridget.
I look back.
Queen Bridget was around. I don't remember the king.
Yeah, my personal recollection of the history of the royal family is probably out of touch, given that you've been rewriting it so recently. But Jimmy might remember. Was there?
Phelan was Bridget's husband.
Yes, but was he alive at the time of the Blight?
Yes.
Okay, so, all right.
We just never met him,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. You only met Bridget and Phoebe.
Okay. Look back at Draken. Well, that checks out. They can't be that far off. Could just be years, honestly.
From what I've been told, we weren't even on this ship when it docked.
No, this was... Is Ghost visible?
She is right now, yes.
Okay. Yeah, Jimmy looks back at you. Yeah, I assume there was none of this going on.
No, whenever I came to the area to check out the ship, there was absolutely nothing. However, there was activity down below on the ship that I couldn't quite make out, and it seemed as though something was watching me and could actually see me at the time, which was a mite odd, but beyond that, there was no one wandering around outside. Certainly not any Cairn natives. This is perhaps the first time I've seen someone from your home besides you and Draken. And Master.
There's another?
And Kong, technically, too.
There's a couple. Not all of them are still around, taking part in the business, but a couple of us did make it.
Make it. You keep saying this like with some sense of finality. What are you referring to? What happened?
Yeah, we might have to do the story.
Bryn's going to place her hand on Jimmy's shoulders and say, "Would you like me to offer a more technical explanation?"
No, I like it the way we tell it with the shadow puppets.
I was just thinking. And you see Draken start limbering and cracking his knuckles.
All right, let's do it. Mutual performance. Here we go.
All right.
Let me get mine ready.
Bryn will actually join in
Bam.
on this one.
Oh,
pretty good.
Am I just providing advantage, or am I making my own? I prefer to make my own. I think that'd just be funnier.
Go ahead.
It is fairly funny, yeah.
Here, Bryn will join in.
Like it.
She will be using minor illusion and other such tricks to make Draken shadow puppets come to life as spirits to really make the story come alive.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I'd like to think I make the Shadow Drake look like a bunny. That's about what I got.
So you tell the story.
Yeah,
then
I
Bryn
tell
makes
the
it a proper
tale
Shadow Drake.
essentially from where it begins to be relevant, which would be, the theft of the Queen's voice, probably.
Okay, so the Stolen
Case of
Queen.
the Stolen
Stolen
Queen.
Queen. What was it?
It was the case of the
Wasn't
Stolen
there a
Queen.
mirror? I thought there was a mirror in the arc title.
There
Not in
was-
the mirror, no, but
There was a
mirror
mirror
in the story.
in the story, yeah.
There was Reflections of a Thief is what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was remembering.
So you tell the story.
Yes.
Right now it is the captain and the three soldiers in the cabin with you.
Yes.
As the story unfolds, you see the color drain out of their faces. As she watches the captain slowly makes her way kind of around you, still paying rapt attention, and shuts the door.
Mhm.
You get the sense that she's trying to not let this out.
Yes. Contain the information. Part of that was why I launched into telling the story, because I could have played coy. I could have not told them, but I want them to think that we're very important. And that what we know is very important.
So, upon finishing, they're just flabbergasted. Two of the soldiers are weeping, openly.
And Bryn will jump in after Jimmy finishes the story. So, if you want a more technical explanation of what happened, I'm a spirit medium, and I actually was able to question the spirits of some of the ones that got out of Cairn before the gods sealed off your crystal spear. There was a rift in reality, and a chunk of the negative energy plane was ripped out and unleashed onto Cairn. And that was the source of the destruction that happened.
Damus did this.
It was a couple people, best we could tell, but yeah, he was in there.
And what if the queen is dead?
I can't say for sure, because right as it came down, we were hitting the door. But I don't see how anybody's making it out of that. Strong as she was.
Who will carry her song?
Oof.
Jimmy's shaking his head, because he remembers. He says, we've been out here for a couple years now, just trying to get by.
Years.
Yeah. We don't know for sure what's going on in there.
We have to get home. This seals it. We have to get back now.
Well, I happen to agree.
Do you know the way?
Puts his hand on the hilt of Black Jammer. Now, if I say something, will you not get mad?
I make no promises, but you've done me a service, so...
We were coming here to steal this ship and sail it home. But, seeing as you seem to control it already and our interests are aligned, yeah, we know the way.
At this point, Bryn will pull the Evermap out of her bag of holding, hold it in her hands.
Very well.
Now, I gotta come clean to you before we shake hands on this. I come loaded with a little bit of baggage. Devils hate me, and also wanted the ship. So we might come under a little bit of fire.
She's openly kind of like laughing in a weird way. She's like laughing and shaking her head and looking at you incredulously, like just it's almost like she can't help herself. You want the ship, they want the ship. It's funny. Well, you'll just have to see.
I'm sure it'll be a laugh riot, but, devils are bad, that's fine. Slightly bigger issue, we would have to make a pit stop and pick up a passenger.
Passenger? Is it another one from home?
Well, yes. I'm gonna level with you. He's not a nice guy.
Why are we picking this one up?
Well, I would rather put a sword through him and then chuck him overboard. But I probably can't. And I'm a pretty bad dude myself. He's a powerful one. He's become something of a power here in the city as well. He's got some of my people. He's about the only way I can save those people from the devils that want this ship. And in terms of our mutual interests, he's the only being I think I've ever met that I expect could crack open that crystal sphere and get us in.
Well,
whatever you do, if he offers you a deal, don't take it.
So, I'm less worried about this individual than I likely should be. But
step up that worry, or you'll regret it one day.
I still don't think you understand, but that's okay. That's okay.
Baggage aired out. Jimmy slides his hand forward. Fellow traveler?
She looks at your hand and kind of looks back up at all of you and smiles, nods her head, and goes to shake your hand. And suddenly, it's almost as if you're getting a poor reception on a television.
Mm-hmm.
They begin to kind of flicker. It's almost like waves of white noise and static go through them. They flicker and shift and jitter, and then they're gone. All of them.
Bob?
She did say she was out of phase.
Just about to seal the deal.
Rat, what are you trying to figure with the 30 Arcana check there?
What kind of planar overlap shit just went down here? Like, I've heard theories of like different planes of existence, but
Theories? You live in sodding Sigil.
That's true.
yeah, but I'm thinking theories on like planar realities, like different multi-reality, like a
Multiverse theory.
But yeah,
Listen,
is this some sort of like magical multiverse occurrence going on, or
She
Like,
did
what would
say
magically
that.
cause them to? Yeah, she knows that they're out of sync a little bit, and she mentioned that. But I wanna
Yes,
see
out
if
of
I can
phase, and the
understand.
best person to explain that would be Istu. Because my best guess this is something related to time.
With the 30 roll, that'll back up what Bryn just said. Although chronomancy is far out of your league.
Yeah, I don't deal with that kind of stuff. That's way too intricate and tedious.
You don't need that to blow someone up.
Yeah.
Bryn just
Yeah.
points at Istu.
Wait a second. Why?
Because you would be able to explain what's going on here.
I'm sorry. Do you know what I specialized in? Have we had that
that's a good
conversation?
question, do we?
No, that's been a point of not telling you. Like when I
Oh.
use those abilities, I
At
don't tell you what
no
I'm doing, bro.
point
Like,
with no
Fair.
character has Master Miss ever explained what her character does.
Master Miss
Or
is big
even
on
made
that.
it possible to observe.
lol.
Well, I will say this. Istu being what they are, would they like to step up and potentially offer an explanation?
We'll pretend that Bryn didn't say any of that.
With many mentions of time, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Is that what I've heard?
Well,
At least one.
I will say that based upon your specialties, you do recognize some of the issues that are occurring here as potentially time-related problems. Yes.
Yeah, and I think Bryn still would have said that, this is something to do with time, like, she just wouldn't have name dropped this too, but yeah. I'll say she
Quantum-
said that.
Quantum superposition based off of an arcane shift. Or something similar.
Jimmy looks at you.
Mm.
He doesn't stop for a second.
Quantum what
Not really
nonsense?
sure what we could do to fix that, though, to bring them back into phase.
Jimmy wipes a hand down his face.
Perhaps.
Might I ask, Istu,
Yes?
in your judgment, they gonna just keep kind of doing that?
Most beings have an anchor to their location in time and to their location in space. They have their tether to space because they're here. They just don't have the right time. So if we could stabilize them, we could have a more continuous conversation.
Hmm.
And contiguous conversation, because who knows when they've gone to.
All right. Well, we might sometimes have a crew. Has all of the material that they loaded disappeared?
No, the dock workers are Sigilian.
Cagers.
I just like
Right.
saying the word Sigilian.
Fair.
Can I do anything at all to keep them stable?
Can you?
Okay. I'm gonna turn that on its head and tell you yes I can. And
Haha.
and tell you how I can. Okay. Well, this may not be the best plan ever, right? But I feel like we're in chronomancy land, this is my time, right? So, if by some stroke of luck there was a roll that would determine whether or not I succeed, I could use Convergent Future on that to decide if the roll was success or not.
You could use the convergent what? Sorry.
Convergent Future. It's a level 14 Carnegie ability.
Level 14?
Yes.
Okay. Can you throw that somewhere for me so I can see
Yep.
it?
Right here. At some, my theory is that even though Istu doesn't know how the problem is solved, there is a future at some point in existence where we figured it out. So I can just pull into that future and decide that that's where we're going to go with it.
So you're trying
Create kind of
to manipulate probability.
I'm creating a self-fulfilling prophecy by choosing to select the future that we succeed in.
Okay. And the goal being to anchor them.
Right.
Okay.
Just to keep everybody in stasis, stable. You know, where we can see them and they can help us. Yeah, kind of.
Interesting.
I love how I've checked none of this with you before this. Like, great.
It's fine. I actually have the Chronomancer's Handbook from first edition D&D.
Oh shit! Page 1. It says, "Do not do chronomancy."
Hey, it was a school of magic back in the day.
Pages 2 through 60 also say, "Do not do chronomancy."
This is interesting. There's not a lot of detail as far as how this works in the description, granted, but
And I would like to specify that I'm still not saying what I'm specializing in. I'm just theorizing vaguely out loud.
yeah, no, that's
But
fine.
you would maybe if you knew wizardry, you would know.
I don't.
Yeah, and this is a very specialized field. So here's what we'll do. Number one, you're gonna need one of them here to utilize this so that you can connect with them where they're out of phase, where they're anchored, and try to pull these probability strands together to a point where it can function in a way that you can manipulate it to your cause or benefit. Okay? But it is very possible.
I'm going to need one of them here. They made a point of closing the door before they went out of phase. Assuming that the one that was shaking Jimmy's hand didn't move very far from where she was, or where they were. Do I have to just wait till they come back in phase for me to see them?
Yeah, they need to be present. In the present. Because
Okay.
as far as you know, if they're out of phase with time, they're lost in time right now.
Right.
You have no way to kind of pluck out where they are. This is a fairly unique situation even for you. You've never encountered something like this, especially on this scale.
Okay. Okay. If I had been thinking of it when they were here, I could have used momentary stasis and then used conversion future to figure this out. But I'm assuming that they will come back because this narrative doesn't make any sense, and this future that I've selected doesn't make any sense if they don't. So I just kind of need to wait here for a minute and seem like I'm doing some shit. So
Can you just go back to when they were here and then stasis trap them to do your time thing?
Yeah.
I don't know how
No.
time wobbly your thing is.
I mean, this isn't the TARDIS, but can't do that, can I? I can't.
Because we know when they were 5 minutes ago.
I'm going to say the most horrible thing a DM can say. You can certainly try.
No thanks. Yeah.
Not a good thing to do with time travel is try it.
Right up there with, are you sure about that?
Are you sure? Yeah, well, you know, and I know this is off topic, but in the older editions, you actually had a separate listen ability rather than just a flat perception roll. And there was always a big joke about I listened to the door. The door says nothing.
The cavalry's here.
Yeah. Cheers, love.
Technically, they're Marines. They are foot soldiers aboard a boat.
There
But-
is. There is. Well, Jimmy, I'm going to go out on a limb here. You and Draken. More to you, Jimmy, because Draken is not exactly known to pay attention. But you recognize these uniforms. You recognize them very well because you fought side by side with them.
I was just about to think, I wonder if they came off of a different vessel that I might have also been on.
Yeah, you recognize that the troops that you fought with against the Becklerite invaders aboard the Fettered Cloud wore this exact same uniform. And
Yeah.
I believe in the well, no, that was a different group, but the nasty folks fought them too.
Yes, the zoo fought them. We fought alongside them. So now this is like the Shawneesian 3rd Expeditionary Force aboard the Fettered Cloud.
It's same uniforms. You probably don't know enough to pick out like regiments and whatnot, but
Yeah, no, I was not looking for that, but I was just... That's what's going to come to Jimmy's mind.
yeah, that memory.
Well, let's have a look. And he's going to open the door back out to the main deck of the ship and look about.
Still bustling with activity. It's the cagers doing cagers work.
Loading stuff, primarily.
They are strictly loading. Nothing's being taken off at the present.
All right.
There are none of the uniformed soldiers, though.
I look over at Draken. I think we can
Yeah.
do it.
Just take it right now? I agree. Let's do it.
I want to let him finish loading first. I think we go stand by the gangplank and make out that now we're supervising.
So you're gonna stand by and supervise?
Now, I got a couple things that might wait.
At any point, are any of them coming back in phase?
Not at the moment, no.
I can make
waiting.
everybody invisible.
I'm waiting for that and trying to catch them when I see anything.
Hmm. If we're invisible, we can't order them off.
I don't think they want to be on here, though.
That's true.
I think once it starts moving, they'll run away.
Hmm.
Also, don't we have to collect someone?
We did promise Crod we'd take him out.
It's gonna be real mean if he wakes up and we're gone. Funny, but mean.
Poor Crod.
Now, he might be safer.
At least we didn't draw genitals on his forehead.
Yet.
No, Crod wants out of this city.
Yeah. No, he won't actually be safer, and we could probably stand somebody who's at least been on a ship.
That was kind of the benefit of him.
Yeah. Alright. You think you can hold it down while I go get Crod?
I got this.
You got this. How could we squander such an opportunity?
Alright. I'm gonna go stand on deck and look majestic. Like I belong and I'm in charge.
Wings spread, arms crossed.
The usual.
Oh, even better yet. I am gonna fly, so I'm gonna hover above the ship slightly with my arms crossed, just looking down.
Does that make
Yes.
you an overseer?
Exactly. Exactly. As I'm heading out, I'm gonna just like grab longshoreman and tell him, point up at Draken. I say, "I now listen. While the soldiers are below decks, he's supervising up here. All right, you got that?" And then I'll pat them on the back and continue on my way. I'm an acceptably good liar.
Yeah, that works. He looks at you kind of confused and just kind of nods, goes back to his work. For the most part, these people are just doing their 9 to 5. This is autopilot work for them.
Exactly. So I say it perfectly normally, as if I'm just letting them know about a shift change. I'm just saying, hey, they put a new supervisor up. It's that guy.
Well, that's the thing, is the soldiers weren't supervising. They were just patrolling. The harbor master is kind of running this show as far as the loading.
Okay.
But you don't see this individual out there anywhere, but you get the sense that they're gonna keep working no matter what until their boss says, "Okay, quitting time."
All right. I do that a couple more times just to make sure that word might spread amongst the longshoremen and
Okay.
give us just that instant of cachet, you know, in case we get questioned. They'll just say, no, he's in charge for it right now, right?
That's fair.
I am in charge of the lottery and the ship.
Oh boy,
Yes.
that reminds me. I owe you an angry mob, don't I?
It has been 1 day. There's
One
no way we've won a new lottery yet.
It's
In
true.
4 days, they'll be pissed.
True.
I have time before they're mad.
So
Draw
who's
once a week on that lottery. I'll take a clipboard out and float up to Draken and just kind of like point down at the ground and like at the clipboard and pretend I'm giving the supervisor an update on the progress.
Doing
So it looks more legit.
the full act? Okay. So
Yeah.
Jimmy's headed back to HQ to pick up Crod. Are you going solo?
Fish him out of bed. Yeah, I was just gonna sprint there and back because it's. How far is it from sidewalk ends back to our little chunk of the hive? It's not that far of a trip, right?
It's not atrocious. It'd be a good little jaunt, but it's not atrocious. No.
All right. So yeah, I was just gonna sprint it. Everybody saw me leave. They know what I'm doing. I figure it takes a lot more people to hold a ship than it takes to fetch a drunk and recovering seaman.
So is to Bren, you guys are hanging back
In
here.
the captain's room, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assume Rat will be as well.
Excellent.
Well, I need to be here so I can see the static when it comes back in and when they start coming back into phase. So I'm actively looking for that white noise to appear again. Because it should appear again. The only factor is how long it takes. Because the future that I've selected, we succeeded in stabilizing them. So by that conclusion, we had to bring them they had to come back at some point.
You must
didn't take us-
maintain the conditions of success.
Yeah, and it didn't take us very long to do that because if we succeeded in stabilizing them, then I wouldn't have picked one that was like, 10 years later. Like, nah. So we're just waiting for the moment when they pop back in, which hopefully should be soon. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, Jimmy, are you rushing?
I am moving at the stealth pace. I'm trying to not be spotted,
Alright.
at least on the way there.
Because that's going to take more time.
It's going to take a little more time, yeah. So, can you give me an estimate in terms of minutes or hours?
If you're stealthing,
Mhm.
could be an hour or two. Depending.
Fuck it. We're going big. We're going big. I'm not stealthing, and I'm using my shoes.
Okay. Was it striding and springing?
Yes. And we calculated at some point that actually using the shoes and using the extra big steps is quite a wild movement speed.
Let me see here. What's your strength score? I'm just curious.
It's 13.
13. You about 6 foot? Close.
A little shorter.
5'8".
Yeah, 5'11" is on his sheet, but I think 5'8" is the actual one.
All right. 5'8". All right. You don't have second story work or anything, do you?
As a background?
No, as a rogue, depending on your specialty.
Oh, no. I'm the old Unearthed Arcana version of the Revived. I don't have second story work. I've got,
Oh, that's right. It was a rogue subclass, wasn't it?
It was a rogue subclass, exactly. I have proficiency on acrobatics checks, which means I cannot actively fail an acrobatics check unless it's very high.
Okay. In that case, wow, your long jump is nearly 40 feet.
It's fucked up. These shoes are really, really like something.
Your high jump is 12 feet off the ground with a running start.
Yeah.
You can reach up and grab something 20.5 feet off the ground.
It's very I could take the rooftops.
So yeah,
Though a lot of the rooftops here are very spiky.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna want to do that. But yeah, you're moving, you're booking. Let me just make a completely unassociated roll that means nothing. Wow.
You made the hell out of that completely meaningless and unassociated roll.
I really, really did.
Ted and Lauren time.
That would be hilarious. The Warranes pop up out of nowhere and attack. Turns out they're epic level heroes.
Do I need to do any sort of perception checks to be looking out for this?
No. It'll be obvious when it happens. All right. Well,
You about to hit me with it.
you know what? Okay. Like I said, it was a completely meaningless and unassociated roll. You make your way back to headquarters, grab Crod.
Of course.
The way back will be a little slower, obviously.
Yeah, the way back, I will stealth.
Okay. Let's see here. Do I have Crod? Yeah. We'll give Crod a roll and let you roll for your stealth.
All right. Just look at me now. I can crit fail my way to a 19.
Crod rolled at 24. All right.
Thank you, Crod.
So, yeah, you guys make your way back. Nothing crazy seems to happen. It's a really quick run and then a stealthy walk through the park.
All right.
You're
So
back to the
s-
ship.
Sort of sneaking back. Still bustling, still busy up here.
It is still bustling. The deck's getting crowded with cargo.
Mhm.
Strange. Any of you have any maritime experience? Or spell jamming experience, even?
No, but I know what a shipping manifest is.
Yeah.
I say this. And no, we'll just go ahead and say it's a little odd that all the cargo is being placed on the deck rather than brought below.
Oh wait, I have vehicles proficiency.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd that you would stash cargo on the deck.
It is referred to as the cargo hold,
Yeah,
that bit below.
yeah. So
You want it down for correct weight carrying.
I mean, there are multiple bulkheads below. There are multiple hatches on the surface that could be opened and the stuff dropped down. Even a couple stairways that lead below. But for some reason, like, none of the cargo's being brought down. And maybe there's just a chance that they're leaving it for the soldiers to bring down. Maybe that was their orders. I don't know, but it is a little odd.
Yeah, Bryn would be familiar with spell jamming through her, like, novels that she's read.
Her Sigillian pulp fiction.
Yeah, basically.
At least it's not romance novels. Or is it?
No, explicitly an adventure novel, and she's on volume 18.
Oh, there you go. The adventures of... I don't know. What would it be?
I'll have to come up with a cool captain's name for this, like, meta-fictional spell jamming novellas.
That'll be a fun one to come up with.
Not Captain Tracer. Well,
Captain Tracer.
No, let's not do that.
Captain Tracer. Oh no. I don't know if we want to do an Overwatch crossover.
No.
I don't think that Prim can handle it.
Captain Moira.
Listen.
Captain Moira.
Just a soft, like,
It explodes.
So they're loading up with a ton of stuff, and they are not stowing it as one normally does.
No. No, it does not appear so. You do notice, like, the dock workers get off the ship quickly.
I wave up Draken, floating.
Yes. And I come down.
All right. Got our sailor. I went ahead and I stashed him in one of the bunks.
That's fine. In the captain's quarters?
Yeah, he's still sleeping it off.
Okay.
So-
What have they been doing? This is a ton of stuff.
Yes. Minor. He's not like. So, curious thought, Jimmy. We've obviously left him, you said, in a cabin. Nobody's gonna just show up and, like, reappear in that cabin, are they?
Well, now they might. They might. Istu's keeping an eye on things in there. But yeah, they might be popping in and out.
What happens if they pop into a space that's already occupied?
That's a question.
Jimmy shakes his head and he just says, "Wizard shit, man."
That could get messy.
Now, from my understanding of every other spell that involves someone reappearing and stuff, it typically means that the thing that reappears takes damage and gets hurt.
Yes.
Hmm.
That would
Maybe
be
I'll
the-
move him.
That would be the common occurrence.
Maybe I'll
Now,
move him.
by the same token, they don't normally consider what damage happens to walls. So they might damage the other thing as well. They just don't. Surprisingly enough, I've never asked a wall if it hurts to get teleported in.
Am I in the captain's quarters?
I believe that's where you were last you said.
Oh, okay. So if Jimmy's bringing Crod. If he's bringing Crod in, I'll be careful to put Crod somewhere else. Don't go over there.
Okay.
Because I'm actively watching the space they were standing in, specifically the spot where Jimmy was going to shake hands with their captain.
Well, nobody was on the bunk, if that's the worry.
Yeah.
Although we're talking about time diffusion, so they may not appear where they left.
They may not remember us when they reappear.
Yeah. Because that conversation may have happened in the future past. I'm
We're,
looking around everywhere then, I guess, in that case. Just
we're getting confusing now.
there's really no safe place because they may materialize back at any point in time where they were in this space, so...
It's very simple. If somebody attempts to exist where you are currently existing, dodge.
Prepared dodge action.
Now, I do like to think of simple solutions to problems. I don't know if that's a good solution.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Don't worry about it. What you should worry about is how are we getting out of here with this shit? This thing is huge.
I was gonna say what you should worry about is hoping this doesn't turn into the Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, we got to put our heads together. Rat, you've sailed before, right?
I have training in vehicle use for warfare.
Generally, you got to make a move to get to the war in them, so I think that's probably gonna help. Let me check my very, very long description of my fancy artifact weapon. Okay. All right. So, and these are the words you gave me, Church.
Okay.
Proficiency on all forms of navigation and seafaring checks with no chance of failure.
Correct.
Let me just make sure I'm not standing too close to any of the longshoremen. You know, just walk back over towards the captain's quarters. Slide Blackjammer out a little bit. Hey, buddy.
What do you want?
Don't sound so grumpy. Look around.
Yeah, we ain't adrift yet.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And I would like to make a check while holding Blackjammer to have Jimmy understand the casting off procedure for a vessel of this size that is a sailing ship.
How to actually cast it off?
Yes, we are at the dock. I assume we are tied up as one generally would be.
Basically, I mean, you'd throw off the moorings, and it would need to be made mobile.
Yes.
Which is something that's a little beyond Jimmy's understanding. How one of these ships moves.
And that is why I have Blackjammer.
Well, that's good for navigation.
And seafaring.
But we're talking about jamming. Actually, like wearing the helm.
Ah, okay. That's not in the text that you gave me. I do believe you, obviously.
Yeah.
So then, would proficiency in water vehicles allow me to know like a basic cast off and startup procedure for a vessel?
Casting off is no problem. Jamming requires arcane power.
Mm.
Oh, I've got a shitload of that.
Yeah.
But we ain't jamming on this thing. As far as we know, this is a sailing ship.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, nobody's familiar enough with jamming to understand how jamming works. Except
my mind-
we can't just like poof out of the docks all
like Bryn's got some idea from her pulp novels.
Yeah, and I feel like she actually would have read, like, because she has an interest in this, like, you know, some sort of supplementary, like, text from actual spelljammers on how to do that. But, you know, theory is always different than, like, whenever you put things into practice.
Yeah, and it's a whole different thing when you actually get moving. And it does require a tremendous amount of focus and power.
Actually, Bryn would be the probably the best option, the best person to try and get this thing going. Because I don't think this is a thing with the 5th edition update to spell jamming, but I mean, you know, and I know in the OG rules that, you know, there's a big difference between a full caster piloting the ship and a half caster.
Yes. There
And I haven't
definitely
seen
is.
anything at all over here.
No, not yet.
All right. So actually, you know what? Let's actually make a quick inspection here. I was saying that Jimmy was pretty confident this was a normal sailing ship. I haven't had him check. I'd like to have him check.
All right, what are you going to check?
I'm going to look for a helm. He knows what a sailing ship helm should look like. It should have a wheel. He knows a spell jamming helm should probably be some weirdo magic shit.
Weirdo magic shit. Which is very accurate. Very, very accurate. I mean, let's be honest.
Mm.
So, tell me what you're looking for. Where are you looking? Let's go with that first. Where are you looking?
Jimmy is no expert by any means, but he knows enough to know that you're on a sailing ship, probably somewhere towards the back, on the deck. There would be a ship's wheel. If it was in fact a sailing ship.
I'm very concerned.
Why are you concerned?
If we start moving the ship and they have their tethers in space, are their tethers relative to the space on the ship, or are they relative to the space relative to the dock? Because if we move the ship, then
That's a good question.
there go our chances. So I would really be rethinking my strategy right now, because if they haven't appeared back here now, then chances are maybe I've missed the window, and I need to reformulate my strategy before we sail off. You know.
Out of character, I think it's much more likely they're anchored to the ship. Because, like,
Possibly.
there's no tales of this dock being extravagantly haunted by weirdos from Cairn.
At least they weren't until the ship showed up.
Also,
Can I
fair.
can I slightly alter my strategy here just a bit?
What do you want to do?
Rather than waiting for them to rematerialize and then stabilizing them, I would like to be a little less hands off with this method and choose a reality where I know how to bring them back into phase and keep them. Like, jumpstart the white noise process just for like a second.
You trying to force it?
I'm gonna have to, because apparently we're getting moving, and Stuff's piling up, and we need to.
Oh, nobody's moving yet.
Jimmy's just looking for like
A
how you
helm.
make. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to use it. He's just figuring out the ship.
Jimmy, zero magic, zero seafaring natively for sailing ships, is walking towards where he thinks things should be and go, how make boat go?
'Cause
And
if
I
he
feel like
figures
Jimmy
that-
would be waiting for the captain to come back before he set off.
If he figures that out before the captain returns, though, we'll be in a spot. Because I've not heard up until this point. Istu has not heard anything about waiting for the captain. Istu's hearing people taking over for this. Okay, he's in charge now. We're gonna figure out how to take off. We got our guy. We're ready to go. So there's not been any wait for the captain because the handshake didn't actually happen, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, no, we hadn't finished making the deal, but
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
since
we
they're
could
not
just-
going to stay corporeal, we'll just assume, and we'll get out to sea and it'll all be fine.
I'm not
I
gonna do
mean-
that. Is this path of reasoning possible to do to force it, or is that kind of pushing the limitations?
You can certainly try.
Just try. Don't be frightened of him saying that. He's simply saying things.
Okay. What would I need to roll for that?
Well, first off, tell me what ability you're using to force a rephase.
Nothing clearly has that ability, but I am very aware of the flow of time, and I do have like chronal shift, so maybe some very creative and new age interpretation of that text would allow me to do something like that. If I burn a chronal shift, a luck point, and then my one use of conversion future, try to do this.
Post it up for me, if you would.
Okay.
Do you have one use? Because it says that, whenever you use a feature, you gain a level of exhaustion. Doesn't say a number of
Oh.
times per long rest.
I'm not putting myself into double exhausted. I mean, come on.
Go for it. It'd be hilariously fun.
Okay. Well,
I think level 2 exhaustion, is only, it's disadvantage on ability checks for 1 level, and then 2 level, I think, puts you at half speed. So it'd be nothing too,
I'm just throwing
absolutely
stuff.
detrimental.
I'm just throwing stuff in the chat. I don't know which one of these I'm using, but
Oh shit, that means I'm level 2 exhausted on IRL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hang on, this is a lot to read.
I think you're just high, Ginkgo.
Limited control.
Nah,
think that's how
could
it
never, could never be.
Remember those
that's-
plants yesterday? Lol.
So, for the coronal shift, you need to be able to see them.
Okay.
Stasis, it looks like it's going to be about the same as well. You can use that if you can catch them to try and put them in stasis.
But I can't force that because
No, forcing, you're actually manipulating things that are out of phase, so you would have to find them in the time stream and then pull them to you. Convergent future, maybe? I mean, it literally says, rules is written, it says when you or a creature you can see makes an attack roll or an ability check. So you could apply that to you.
yeah, that's what I was gonna try to do. To figure out what check I need to make to do this, and then tell myself that's enough.
Oh, it's
And
going to
check.
definitely be Arcana. Definitely.
Daddy,
Yeah.
I think I lose it too.
but I can only do that, a certain number of times. So.
It's kind of wet. I have to lose tooth.
Oh my god. Sorry, my
You
daughter
can do
just
it as many
pulled a
times
tooth
as
out.
doesn't make you
I,
dead.
Oh,
I
yes.
almost swallowed it.
Congratulations.
Well, we'll definitely tell the fairy lady, okay?
What if I have a no lose tooth? Because what if I get 100?
100 teeth. I'll be broke. All right. Well, chill out. We'll deal with that in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Good job.
We could take our union break,
It is about time.
You guys want to? We can.
Yeah, let's see real
Go
quick.
handle
Okay.
go handle
like a good
important
time.
teeth-related transactions.
Teeth
Yes,
related.
Yeah,
Good
because
time
now
for it,
you
yeah.
have to teach your daughter about making deals with the Fae.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh yes. We're an Irish family.
Mm.
So yeah, when we come back, we'll get the Arcana rolls, use Convergent Future, see if you can yank one of them out of the time stream and pull them to you. Okay?
Just one of them? Okay.
But yeah, dude, we're already reaching pretty hard just to get one.
Okay.
This is big magic you're doing.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll give it a whirl when we come back. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that dial. All right, we'll be
What's
right
your
back.
dial?
Yep.
Oh, good. Because we're back. Welcome back. Here we are. Okay, as I said, just to dive right in. When we come back, utilizing Convergent Future to get an Arcana roll and make an attempt to yoink one of these poor souls out of the time stream and into the present phase.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Now this will play into what Master Myths wanted to do originally with this too, whereas like, you know, when we pull them back in phase, they're going to say in phase, right?
That
Or would
there's
that
no
be
guarantee about yet. However, once they're in phase, Master Mist will have a line of sight on them, and the other abilities can come into play, like momentary stasis and that type of thing.
Well, I guess I guess this dude's taking 2 levels of exhaustion. Finger guns.
Momentary stasis doesn't impose exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just
Using-
Convergent Future.
Yeah, Convergent Future is the only thing that does that, and I have an intelligence modifier of 5, so I can use that. I can use momentary stasis 5 times without being exhausted. They'll just have a speed of 0, and they'll be incapacitated. Not like
Okay, because I remember you wanted to originally use Convergent Future to, like, basically keep whoever you're pulling, like, anchored.
I think the determination is that I'd have to use stasis to pull them, and then shift to keep them.
You're using Convergent Future to pull them. This is basically giving you a freebie automatic roll, more or less.
Can I add a flash of genius?
May want to save the Flash of Genius for one of the other ones, because Convergent Future is going to succeed.
Yeah.
Like, is to they are taking a hit of exhaustion because they are focusing so much of their energy into this ability. So this is going to succeed. Following that, should is to attempt, like I said, the coronal shift or momentary stasis, then that Flash of Genius may come into play.
And again, I'm not really even. I don't think I'm even aware of what Istu's doing in the cabin because I'm still outside the.
This is very possible. Last I heard, you were still hovering with the clipboard.
Yeah, I was still playing with the clipboard, looking over what they're loading on the ship.
You
Trying
guys
to
are overseeing.
Shipping manifest. I'm trying to figure out what the cargo is.
Okay. All
I'm
right, well,
really trying
so
not to
I'm
do
not-
this, but it's like, okay, we're out of options. This is the perfect time for it. I won't have this many questions. Get it over with. Okay, let's go.
all right. So Convergent Future.
Bam.
Solid. Give me
20.
now. Are you going to ignore the die roll with your Convergent Future and? Decide whether the number rolled is the minimum needed to succeed, or one less than that number? It's such a weird power.
Okay. I feel like a 20 is really good,
Okay.
but I don't. Okay, we're gonna see. Is it wise to do this?
Is it wise to mess with time?
Is
Never.
it wise to use the skill now when I've rolled relatively well?
I will leave that for you to decide.
Let's see here.
I think
I
the
mean-
skill isn't the skill just effectively to bring like the person into reality.
That's
Or
what we're
in
trying
phase.
to do. So basically, I'm using the Arcana roll to try and pull the tether.
Mm.
Yeah, but I just need to choose. I need to see if I think a 20 is good enough for this ability. Considering I rolled that with a +5. Like, is a DC 15 difficult enough for what I'm trying to accomplish? And I don't think it is, so I'm going to go ahead and use that ability.
All right.
Head and put that in chat again so I can have it marked. And note that I can't do this anymore. Or
Okay.
that it's used once.
I mean, you can do it more. You'll just take another level of exhaustion.
Stop trying to make me tired.
You will be retired.
I'm already yawning in chat. Stop.
So you're ignoring the roll?
I'm deciding that a 20 is enough.
Is enough.
Yes.
Okay. So, Is2 holds their hands out, focuses. You guys all around, you see, it's almost like reality begin to shift and shimmer and shake. Little points of light pop up and then disappear. And then the image of the captain begins to flicker. Ironically, right where she vanished.
Hmm?
Hands still outstretched. Her voice garbles, twitches, and
Now that I can see them, I'm gonna do some stuff.
slowly begins to come into phase.
And I thought that I shaped reality to my own will.
Okay. Wizard shit's paying off. Jimmy's getting right back into position for the handshake.
Now that they're in phase,
They're coming into phase.
okay. I'm standing where Jimmy was standing before,
Okay.
watching them materialize.
All right. Are you going to maintain concentration on them?
To use one of the abilities to make them remain stable, yes.
Okay. So
But
we're branching into kind of untested territory a little bit here.
I'm acutely aware of that, and it's very weird. Like anyone watching this is like watching Istu kind of lean their head to the side, kind of like a snake watching a mouse be born, like with that sort of eerie, like, okay, it's not developed enough yet. It's not quite time to strike. Like,
That would be accurate.
just,
So first things first,
mhm.
give me a concentration check. Because this is starting to hurt.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
Constitution.
Okay. Save?
Yeah, give me a con save.
Yeah.
Con save?
Damn.
24! Let's go!
Is2 doubles down.
Bones of steel.
All right.
This is not good, people. This is not good.
So yeah,
This is great. I don't know what you're saying.
I
The-
rolled a 24 on the con save.
the-
That's a nat 20. You know what follows nat 20s? Nat
Nat.
1s. Yeah.
So they double down, push harder. The figure becomes more and more solid. The captain looks dazed, confused, scared even a little bit as she begins to look around the room. She seems to be following things with her eyes that are not visible to the rest of you. And it seems like something that scares her a great deal.
Just snap my fingers a couple of times. Wave.
Come on.
See us?
I can see her.
You can see her.
Then I would like to let's see which one would be the more reasonable thing to do. We'll say stasis roll since I can see them.
Okay.
Just try to
Gonna try and
pull
drop
them.
them into stasis.
If they're
Momentary
fully-
stasis.
If they're fully done phasing in, which I don't know if they are. They're looking around. I don't know if that's. Is she fully back yet?
Hard to say. Like I said, this is unchecked, untested waters. Even for Is2, this is something they've probably never done before.
Yeah, we're gonna. I feel like the con save we made just now is good as it's gonna get. So we're gonna reach wherever they're at and be like, stay. You're stuck here now.
Gonna try for the stasis.
Right.
All right. So, what's your DC? Your spell save DC?
18.
18, my lord.
We're getting up there in
14.
levels.
Okay. So,
Yay!
the captain solidifies finally as to kind of makes this really adept arcane shift, basically from holding them in phase to forcing them into a locked position, manipulating the field of time around them into a near visible, like shimmering field that seems to coat the captain's entire form. The captain immediately is kind of, her head goes down, her eyes close, and her arms fall to her side, and she stops moving, just standing there completely still.
Well, that sure is stasis.
So incapacitated means unconscious. Lovely.
Well, it's very, very similar.
Yeah. She's not going anywhere.
You locked her in time carbonite.
Pretty much.
Jimmy takes off his hat and scratches his head. He looks over at Istu. He said, "Is it Istu? This is a very awkward question.
Hmm?
What are you? What do you do?"
An unsettling smile crosses Istu's face. Weren't you in the middle of a handshake?
I was, but you need to be a well, let me take that back. I was going to say living. I shouldn't say that. I got to learn better. You'd think I'd be used to it at this point. You have to be able to move to make the hand shake.
Istu looks back at the captain with all the puzzlement of a rattlesnake. Just looking at the albino mouse that it just killed, and trying to figure out how to make its arms move. It's like,
Here,
well, I got the mouse. Now I have to animate it.
Hey, nothing's ever good enough.
Minor illusion, maybe. I don't know. It's just gonna be me pretending, bro. Like I can pull her eyelids back. You want to?
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's just it. I take it if you let go, she's just gonna go again.
Well, here's the question: does this require concentration to maintain?
Doesn't say it does.
Because I don't see any of the requirements there.
none of the chronomancy abilities list specifically that they require concentration, and concentration isn't listed within the specialization merits either.
That says it lasts until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
Oh well,
They
that's
set durations.
So very short.
yeah, that's seconds.
Yeah. So make it snappy. Come on. They're here. I don't. I can't. Well, okay. Should I make smelling salts with that? I don't know. Bruh.
You can reuse it at the end of that amount of time equal to your intelligence mod.
The captain's just frozen, though, right? Can't
Stasis,
move, can't speak, can't see.
pretty much.
Can I? Can I pull her, like, put my finger under her chin and, like, wiggle it a little? Just be like, hey. Hey.
Unless you're releasing the stasis field, it really won't have much of an effect.
Yeah.
So she's definitely going to be unconscious if she's in stasis and stuck in this time period.
Yeah, incapacitated.
I look at Jimmy.
I-
look at her.
It's real impressive. I mean, we might have time to seal the deal if you let it go and I move fast.
Look. Come here. Come here.
I'm over there.
Grab this limp, floppy hand. Okay?
All right, we're just gonna. Here, we're primed. We're ready to go. And all right, break.
All right, so
As we have indicated, I break.
okay, so you break the stasis field.
There you go.
All right.
Handshake initiated. There we are. We've shook the hands. Things have happened.
So the stasis field drops.
Mhm.
The captain starts to drop, and then you see her legs kind of lock under her, and she catches herself, and then raises her chin up to look at you all wide-eyed, and just this sharp intake of breath, like out of shock, like she just gasps, and stands up, and immediately looks at you with a fierceness in her eyes. Like an intense fierceness, as one hand kind of grips the hilt of her rapier, and she looks at each of you with this distrust and wariness. She still looks very confused.
Yes. And Jimmy says, "Don't suppose you remember me?"
Who are you?
Girl.
Jimmy sighs and looks down,
We're the new owners of your ship, lady.
and then he says, "All right. Let's turn this around. Who are you? How did you get here? Think real hard about that."
It's a lot of questions.
It's one question. Where are you right now?
So the captain looks around once again at each of you. Looks around the captain's quarters, the ship here. Looks down at herself.
Time is short.
And despite the fierceness in her eyes, her lower lip begins to quiver. And you see tears begin to pool up in her eyes. And she just simply says, "I don't know."
It's all right. We do. Kinda. I'm not the expert. I look over at Istu. You think there's an explanation of this that would make sense to a normal person?
Likely not.
Damn, I was afraid of that. Alright. I look back at the captain. You're from Cairn, right? You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Alright. Seems like you left Cairn with your crew. some point you ran across this ship, and now you're sort of stuck here.
There was a storm. There was a black storm.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
It
Well, I get to hold the camera.
it consumed everything.
100 minutes.
Yeah, I did see that one.
20 minutes.
And then I don't remember.
Well, it doesn't seem to have quite consumed you, but it's knocked you a little loose. My friend over here has stabilized you for a little while, but
You told us that you were out of phase. I'm assuming that whenever you disappear from the ship, that your memory also goes with.
That's not exactly how that works, but let's. It makes me look better to pretend that's true, so let's go with that.
Makes me look better.
Yeah.
Um, let me see here. Fix Scallywag there.
yes, now he's a very appropriate size.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, he's big. One medium scallywag, please.
There he goes.
I,
Okay.
I try to be comforting. I say, it's all right. Just when you come around, try not to try and kill us. Don't have any of your troops kill us. We're taking the ship home.
So, as you're saying this, you see her form kind of shift again.
Mhm.
And then one by one, the three soldiers that came in with you kind of fade in. It's almost like they... It's like colorful white noise. Just kind of washes over where they were and leaves their form standing there. And they kind of jolt around and look confused. And then the captain's face softens. And she shakes her head and says, "Oh, sorry. Where were we?"
Handshake.
We were cutting a deal.
"Oh, yes, yeah. Passage."
Put my hand out.
She shakes her hand.
All right.
Yes. Oh. Ugh. Istu turns and walks away. With an
Mission
irritated
accomplished.
Just, oh, it was way harder than it needed to be. I have shit to read. I'll be over here.
All right. Just a quick question for you, since you've been aboard a little longer than us. I was looking around for a helm, and I didn't really see a helm. Is this a sailing ship, or is this the other kind?
Oh, the helm.
Yeah.
Oh. This might be a little different from what you're used to.
Well, I'm not used to either of the kinds I know of, so it will be.
All right.
Yeah. The important question, how does one make the ship go?
Well, that's complicated. It might be easier if I show you.
Oh, please do.
Follow
Bryn
me.
will follow along with.
So she walks out of the captain's quarters and in towards the back.
Mhm.
There's a small hallway here, and she takes you to the very back of the ship.
Istu follows and pretends to be reading something, but is actively watching this lady, like making sure that she doesn't start phasing out.
she takes a right and goes into a larger room. And inside this room is this strange looking chair, throne. I mean, it's just glowing with arcane energy, covered with these strange sigils. And there's a large helmet on a small stand next to it.
There is a huge smile on Bryn's face, and her eyes are lit. They're sparkling right now.
So it is that kind. All right. Well, that'll be interesting.
Bryn turns to the captain and says, "Do you have anyone that can pilot the ship without going out of phase?"
No. No, unfortunately, that's I think how we ended up here.
Anyone that knows how to drive one of these things?
People that know how, sure.
Before they go out of phase, or anytime they're in phase, give them to me. Or send them to me. I have the power to be able to pilot one of these ships, but not the experience, and I could use their word.
Well, once we've resupplied, you're welcome to sit down and talk with the helmsman.
A good number of your people have been storing things on the deck of the ship. We may already be resupplied.
Well, the locals are a little scared to go down below decks.
So I've noticed. So yes, myself and also Draken, the Golden Dragonborn, and is two here. Whenever your helmsman is available, then we all need to talk about how to operate the ship.
Well, there's one more important thing we should really discuss if you're going to be housed aboard Sigil. There's a very specific quirk at play here.
Nodding along.
Don't go down to steerage.
Is there anything important down there?
We have an agreement with the ship. Steerage is where we send the ship's food.
Food. So this is a mimic ship.
Did I find a shipping manifest, like a cargo manifest or anything?
No, there's no cargo manifest.
No, what's in these crates that are being loaded?
Food and water and
Food.
other perishable or non-perishable supplies.
Like real food?
It's a ship, so how much do you count hardtack and salt beef as real food?
Yeah. You're not going to be eating well unless you catch something out and about, but
Okay.
just stay out of steerage.
I'm pretty sure we can pull that off.
Even if the ship tells you to go there.
I have more practice than you might expect at getting the better of conversations with places I live.
The irony is not lost on Jimmy.
Yeah. No, this is just like home, really.
So, Now the bustle up above is starting to die out. It appears as though the dock workers are kind of finishing their work. The captain is curious about your chart there.
Chart. Is she
The
talking?
Evermap.
No, she's staring at it. Like wherever you put it.
Oh, Brent's still holding it.
Yeah, she's definitely staring at it curiously. She hasn't said anything yet, though. You get the feeling she's trying to be polite.
I appreciate your politeness, but you can ask.
What's so special about it?
Well, if we are going to be heading for Cairn, then what we have here is called an Evermap. This will be very important on our journey, because whenever we head out into the Phlogiston, this will give us a location of Cairn's Crystal Spear.
You know, we've been trying to find that for a while. It's like it's not there anymore.
Question, was it stolen off of you?
What?
The Evermap.
No,
No.
she's
They were trying to find
the crystal sphere.
yeah.
Oh.
It's like the sphere's not there anymore. I mean, we should have been able to navigate right back to it.
Well, even if the gods did seal it off, I would find that a little barmy. Usually they remain in their fixed space whenever they're not accessible. They're just not accessible. They're only invisible to the ethereal plane if you're trying to access a sealed off world that way.
The
Physically,
gods,
it should still be there.
the gods sealed it.
Indeed. And of note, Bryn did mention that whenever like Jimmy and Draken finished with the story.
Yeah, she's going to be confused like this a lot because of her phasing.
Yep.
Fair enough. As far as I understand from stories that Jimmy here has heard, yes, your gods did indeed seal off the crystal sphere, which is why we're going to have a time trying to get back in.
This is just more and more complicated as we go.
Oh, it'll get worse. Don't
Indeed.
worry.
Well, we need to move as quickly as we can then.
Yep. Yeah, let me go round everybody up.
All right.
Make sure we get Draken and Rad as well. What you two been up to? You been following along? You been up above decks?
Been checking on the cargo situation.
Been trying to figure out the manifest.
Mhm.
Or if there was one, I should say.
There should be one. I mean, there's always some sort of paperwork. You're loading this amount of goods. Like somebody's keeping track of something somewhere.
Or the harbor master might be.
Nothing local.
Well, I mean, he's kind of the big dog, I guess you could say.
I would imagine the harbor master standing firmly ashore for this job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not going to actually do any work. That's like trying to get bureaucracy to do something. It just doesn't work that way. So, yeah, you won't get a cargo manifest. As I said, you could kind of tell pretty much it's mainly just food. And
Just cracking open crates and
Yeah.
looking inside. Then
nothing nefarious.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I will say that as Jimmy is walking out, that Draken, you and Rat kind of notice that there's appears to be a gathering of devils, kind of on the far side of the docks there.
Oh.
I would like to stop Jimmy once I see this before he heads off.
I wasn't heading off. I was getting you guys.
Oh.
Don't worry, but I'll be glad to hear this news. I will not be glad.
Let's go back inside, shall we?
I think it's time to go.
I said, what? What's up? What's up?
Our
You see that gaggle of devils over there? They're trying to look inconspicuous, but they're right there.
What's a few devils between friends?
About 2 sessions worth of combat. So, all aboard. I begin to shoo the various longshoremen back off the gangplank.
Wilhelm, how are you?
We getting out?
Wilhelm?
Wilhelm?
Wilhelm is
Draken.
very far
Sorry.
away.
You dropped out of the game this one.
Oh,
Did I?
Unless I need to relog. Okay.
You might
Maybe
need
it's
to.
me, yeah.
He's still on my screen.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah. How many of the various dock workers are still milling about on board?
No, they're clearing out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
once
hurry
the
him
last
along.
of them clear off, I'll pull the gangplank back to the dock and then fly over to the boat.
All right. So there we are.
Go around and pull up any ropes that are still attaching us to the shore.
All right. So we're casting off.
Yeah,
I-
it's
I guess.
time to learn by doing.
Let's
All right.
bye by God, kinda.
Is anybody trying to take the helm?
Bryn. Bryn will go first.
Okay. Wow. Here we go. Fingers crossed. So. First things first. You guys managed to cast off the moorings. The soldiers, they rush and jump onto the ship and take their positions. Many of them begin to bring cargo down below.
Good, good.
Where is that?
We were told to not enter steerage, right?
Yes.
Steerage is the lowest deck on the ship.
Mhm.
It's also where the brig is.
They would all already know this, right?
Yeah,
You
they
would
weren't here.
assume. You would assume.
They came with the ship. That's fine.
Good.
Captain, question.
Mhm.
Do we already have a spell key and a cage on the bowsprit to get us through the Seafarer's Arch?
She looks at you confused.
Oh, gods.
I think we're gonna find out. I mean, they got it here, right?
They did get it here.
Yes, I suppose. Hopefully they know how the portals work in the wide sodding multiverse.
So, are you putting the helm on?
She is putting the helm on.
Yeah.
All All right. So you put the helm on. First things first. It hits you like a ton of bricks. The awareness, basically. It's as if your senses have been extended to that of the ship.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Mainly because not only are you aware from the ship's perspective, but you're very hungry.
Oh God, and Bryn's already a hungry gal.
Very hungry. So yeah, your senses kind of expand out. It's really just kind of insane, and you begin the kind of the build up. You know, like you're empowering up the helm, so to speak,
Yeah.
with your own abilities. Uh, Give me a 1d8 roll. Let's see how long this will take. Alright, so yeah. So about 6 rounds for you to power up the helm. This is your first time doing something like this. But it's like you're gripping. Anyone that's in there with Bryn can see Bryn just gripping the chair, teeth clenched, eyes kind of rolled back in her head. You know, as the power is being pulled out of her and into the ship, basically.
Let's be real, not like it'd make much of a difference to the way her eyes looked anyways.
This is very true. Very true.
I mean, that seems unpleasant.
Her eyes roll back, and suddenly there's irises. Whoa! No. It's the opposite for No, I'm just joking.
Does,
I mean, she can shapeshift those in.
This is true. This is true. I got this. Don't worry. The ship begins to shudder and shake and kind of pull away from the docks. Oh, this is bulky and weird for you, Bren. Obviously.
is there like a mast or anything?
Like for a sail?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's technically it's a galleon, just like any other.
All right. I'm gonna fly my way up to like the top of the mast, like the crow's nest, and take out my pull my accelerator out of my vest in case any of those devils decide to make a break for us now that the boat appears to be moving.
All right. The boat is certainly moving. I want to think how I want to do this.
Full caster at the helm means max power, max speed.
Yeah. Oh no, not that. The
It's just being remarkably unhelpful while all this is going on.
okay. So
Just gonna do this. You hear the hollow thumping sound of the Wellerman. Just the thumping, not the song itself. Just sorry.
No, this all is well. All is well.
So, Brent, just for fun, give
Okay.
me an Arcana roll.
Not bad.
You managed to navigate away from the docks and the piers, without running into anything or nudging anything along the way. It's your first time at the helm. Nobody would have faulted you.
No. But she probably feels really proud of herself right now.
Yeah, and just you are so hungry for some reason. So hungry. But yeah, so you start to pull out and pull away and navigate the ship. And in your mind, you hear a voice say, I suppose we should get to know one another.
Why, that's you, not me.
Is this a ship speaking?
None other.
I suppose we should indeed. Hello, Gale.
Hello, Bren.
If you don't want people to know your secrets, don't attach your mind to
I mean,
a ship mimic.
Yep.
She kind of figured this was a thing. Like, this was going to happen, so she's not, like, you know.
Shocked or anything, yeah.
Yeah, she ain't all that, like, as offended as she would be if someone just, like, you know, came out with her name, like, you know, otherwise.
And this
That's
is all
fair.
in Bryn's head, right? We don't hear this.
Yeah, it's just in Bren's head.
Right, okay.
So, now, Bren, you and Gale are going to be talking a good bit over the course of this. There's not going to be a lot of secrets between you due to the nature of it, unless there's something you intend to hold back intentionally.
Honestly, I don't think she's going to be thinking all that much about, like, you know, keeping in secrets while she's navigating the ship. I mean, she's pretty secretive about her life generally, but I guess in her mind she's just like, oh, fuck it. Like, you know, this thing is, like, linked up, you know, to my mind, so it's gonna be, like, harder to keep secrets.
It's true. It's true. And that's fair. And truth be told, Gale is enough of an asshole that they would push it if you did hide something. Because it's the Whispering Gale.
Yeah.
Yes, one of the many reasons. Right, not over there at all.
Is there anything that you would like to try and dig in with the Gale?
She's gonna want to find out a lot about Cairn, actually.
All right. So, a lot of Gale's knowledge about Cairn is old.
It is.
A lot of the stories that you're going to get was that Gale was originally a lot smaller. And Gale had actually originally been a stowaway on a ship. An elven ship that was involved in a huge battle. Magic. Something happened.
Curse you, noise gate!
Yeah.
Did I cut out again?
Intermittently throughout that entire phrase.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That will never make sense to me how that works, because noise gates don't work that way, so it's just
Nope.
weird. But basically, Gale was a stowaway on an elven ship. Something horrible happened. A battle of some sort. The ship was thrown way off course, beached somewhere, and then sat idle for a long time. Many people came over the course of a very long amount of time, and kind of one by one, Gale ate them and grew and grew and grew until the Gale became the Gale. And then you kind of learn the story of the Gale's manipulations, creating the legend of the Whispering Gale out in the wastes and the desert, drawing people in as a means to maintain a steady diet. And eventually you'll even find out about the zoo. But this is stuff that will happen over time, obviously.
Yeah.
The rest of you,
Does she find out about the Rakshasa that the zoo met?
that is not being shared openly.
Okay. Anyways, the rest of them.
So, and I say this as we're closing in on midnight.
Time. Yeah.
So the rest of you can settle in. We're going to prepare for launch, we'll say. And when we come back, we will actually begin that journey. I assume to Scuttler's Rock?
Yes.
Yes. We will first, of course, have to escape from these land-bound, hopefully, devils.
We shall certainly see. They aren't giving chase. I will say it looks like they're just watching.
Okay, that's good.
Keeping up with their investment.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute before they see this one again.
But yeah. So we will this is a good place to...
Oh yeah, fine stopping point.
Yeah.
The Gale is taking off. Everyone's getting ready. So yeah, when we come back in 2 weeks, we will continue this very crazy story. But for now, thank you for joining us. Thank you for those who will join us, those who have joined us, those who are joining us, etc., etc., etc. We will be back very soon. I still need to talk. We haven't had our meeting yet because of Chance is becoming infected with COVID.
Oh no.
But that is still happening. So the crossover will be happening, and we'll of course have our recap session when that happens. But definitely stay tuned. In the meantime, we are still every Saturday with the Featherfall guys on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then, of course, you're probably going to see more little stuff in between. I do have plans to start running some older edition D&D. I was thinking I might run a one-shot Toon adventure again just for fun in the future. That was actually fun last time we did it.
It was very funny.
And beyond that, definitely stay tuned, and we will see you all very soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.